Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is Hallelujah by Pentatonix. Pentatonix is an a cappella vocal group that began in 2011, and this song, their cover of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, was released in 2016. I have already done one reaction and analysis to this song. It was the cover by Katie Lang. You can find that on the channel. It was really beautiful. I have to admit that even though I've heard this song in passing, I never really let it sink in. I didn't pay attention to the lyrics as much as I should have. It just never really moved me, and now it is. I'm becoming a fan of this song. And I'm also a fan of vocal music. So some of you already are getting to know me, and you know that I am a vocalist. I'm instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, university professor. So on the channel here, we talk about as many musical aspects as we can in this music. I learn a little something. You all learn a little something. But with vocal music, I'm not a soloist per se, but I sing in a cappella choirs. This music is just a part of my heart. And I'm very excited to see this group perform. Okay, so don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe, become a channel member, Patreon, coffee, all that stuff, but enough talking. Let's listen. Okay, I feel like I should give one more disclaimer here because I don't want to mislead anyone. I have heard Pentatonix before, but it was only one song. It was their Daft Punk medley. It was a long time ago. So I've heard a little bit of the magic of this group, but I have the feeling this is a very different kind of performance. It's a very different song. And shame on me for not getting to know this group more until now. Okay. But I'm not going to be too hard on myself here. I'm ready. Let's hear this.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Okay. I am already getting really emotionally overwhelmed. Okay. This is what choir music will do to me. Really good singing, perfect intonation, perfect blend. It's just, for me, immediate goosebumps all the way down my spine, and then just tears. And also the fact that I'm starting to really become a fan of this song. Those two things combined already really got me. Those opening chords, especially when we hear the bass, really just got me. Right to the heart. Okay, I just had to collect myself just a little bit. I mean, what else can I say at this point? It's perfection. I expected no less. But I'm going to go back a little bit and hear the verse. The verse where the bass was singing. I really like the doom, 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 doom. the swaying part of it. It actually sort of saved me. I think I would have just been in a full cry, just sobbing at that point, if it would have just been chords up to that point, just those amazing chords in the opening. This kind of gave it a little bit of softness, a little bit more upbeat feel, and kind of saved me from the depths of my emotions. So I'm glad for that change in the atmosphere, the demeanor of the song. All right, I'm going to go back a little bit, and here's some more.
Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear tonight. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Whoa. Okay, this is a roller coaster. This is just an emotional roller coaster. So I headed right back into it. They had that wonderful verse with the upbeat feel, and then it headed back into the chorus, and I started getting the goosebumps again with those perfect chords and the tears, and then we had a solo from the soprano, and they had a wonderful solo from the tenor. I mean, what in the world? The two of them match so perfectly. I never realized that. I mean, I of course knew that they had all of the voices plus the percussion represented in this group, but I didn't realize really how well they blend until hearing this. It is really something. Okay. All right. Just gathering myself here. Back it up a little bit. And continue on.
It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Okay. Wow. Really loved that last bass note. Maybe a B flat. Whew. Okay. That was just everything. And yet, it was a whole new take of this song. This is a more proclamation kind of interpretation of the song, and it fits their voices incredibly well. I don't think there could have been any other way for them to do this. So the version I've heard so far is Katie Lang, and I love the aesthetic and character that she gave to it. And I've heard it performed live by Rufus Wainwright, and the way he presented it was so intimate. It was just him and a guitar on stage. And this was just enveloping. And of course, it's perfection. I'm still sort of shaking from it. Like my muscles have not relaxed yet. So I want to go back to the beginning and just take a look at some of these things because these singers are just fabulous. I want to hear the chords at the beginning again, and I'll try to hold myself together here emotionally. But I gotta hear some of this again.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Yeah, just perfection. I fell in love with a cappella singing when I was 18. I had just started college and I had been singing in choirs up to that point, but I saw my university choir give a performance and I heard the sound that they were singing. And it's not like this type of a cappella music, it's more traditional, like classical, like madrigals, motets, and then some more contemporary works of today, like Eric Whitacre, things like that. I saw them up on stage and heard that sound, and I just immediately, I said, I have to do this. I have to be a part of this. I knew that my voice could produce those tones, and so I immediately started studying. I took lessons. I auditioned for the choir. I got into 2 different choirs, and I did both of those all through college, and I have taken part in other choirs consistently since, and it's taken me all over the world for many, many concert tours across the globe, and the beautiful music that I have had the privilege of singing has been life-changing. And I still do this today. I'm still singing in groups today. In fact, a lot of my composing even is in some of this vocal style. It is just a part of my soul. My life would just not be the same without it. It would be empty without me singing in choirs like this. So hearing this vocal ensemble just taps into a part of me that is very emotional. It is just a true privilege to hear this group. So back to some of their voices and the composing of this arrangement. Again, I am so glad that they put the upbeat part in it, because I don't think I would have made it through the song if it would have just been those beautiful chords. They were just overwhelming in a good way. So I know that they do the beatbox thing and the percussion thing, and the do 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 do, that sort of thing. And I was happy to hear it introduced. And then later on, when there was some actual sort of percussion sounds in the background, I think I was a little bit surprised to hear that. I was thinking that they don't use any kind of percussion sounds or electronic sounds, but it's okay. It's all good. It sounded fantastic. If they throw a little bit of electronic percussion sound or embellish some sounds that he was making, it's all good. But even the opening, it started out very intimate and solemn with the baritone. He had sort of a higher voice, so baritone. That was the perfect introduction. And then again, those amazing chords, and then the percussion. And I love how they each took their turn, because then it was the bass. Oh, love his voice. And then the soprano, and then the tenor, of which I still can't believe how much they blend. At one point, they showed her singing, and she was singing the background chords, and I was thinking, wait, did she take it back over again? But no, it was still the tenor. Countertenor. Awesome. So actually, let's go to that part. So here's the bass, first of all.
The kitchen chair, she broke your throat and she cut your hair, and from your...
And I'm hearing that he's using the same vocal fry, which is when you kind of do this, that little scratchy sound that the baritone at the beginning was using. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's just about right. Little Goldilocks there. But the tone of his voice, I could listen to him sing forever. He's amazing. Now let's hear the soprano.
It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Ah, she's amazing. And I love how they like, hallelujah. That kind of, I don't know, to me it seems like that's their style, that's their flair being added to this. Those little transitions. And I talked about this in the Katie Lang reaction. Like, what is it about this song that so many artists want to do a cover of it? Well, I understand the meaning behind it now. I didn't before. And the song itself is so simple and at the same time not. It's very deep and complex. But with its simplicity, I think there is room for the interpretation and for all of these musical artists to add their own flavor, their own colors to this. And so I'm hearing more and more. I'm getting to know all the colors of this group, the different flavors, their palette, whatever you want to say, you know, that they paint their picture with. It's so unique. Okay, and so then we got into the tenor solo.
Who's seeing the light? It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
They are just complete perfect matches. I love it. Yeah. High D. He hits the high D. Okay. And did you catch that one little spot there where it totally looks like she's singing? They go over back to the soprano and it looks like she's the one singing. Like, no, it's the countertenor, the tenor there. That's really great. Okay, so now how they handle this chorus, especially with the percussion and their little transitions between the 4-bar phrases.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Whew, they really handle the transitions between the simple and the complex in this song so well. It is just goosebumps everywhere. Whew, okay, let's just continue on just a bit. something like that. Again, the counterpoint, which is, the voice leading, sort of where the voices, wherever they change, and there's so much of a good match that it's really hard to tell sometimes what voice is doing what, but that's what makes it magical. But did you hear that little bit back there? Again, that's their own character that they're adding to it, and that's really special. So the beatboxing in the background, the percussion, that boom, boom, choo, da boom, boom, choo. It's not quite a big triplet. It's more square, do 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 choo. But it's very, very effective. Adds to the goosebumps. So I want to go to the end. Let's hear some of those glorious bass notes at the very end. B flat. Fabulous. High voices are amazing, but there's nothing like a low bass note. Just gorgeous. It's usually, like most vocal music, it is not written to go below a C. In fact, if it goes down to a C, the bass section is sort of all a flutter, like, ooh, okay, do we have anyone who can hit that low C? And so if we have someone in the choir who can, that's great. And if the pitch of the choir sinks a little bit and that person ends up singing a B or a B flat, we just say thank you. Because sometimes that can push a bass's range. The human voice is amazing. I will never stop being in awe. And then the wonder of bringing different voices together. And a group like this, how lucky are we that they exist and we get to appreciate them. Okay, that was Pentatonix. Again, I had heard them do one other song a long time ago, the whole upbeat medley, the Daft Punk thing, and I think the soprano had a blue wig or something, or it was really cool. And maybe I can do a deep dive analysis of that on the channel at some point, but this was kind of life-changing, y'all. This group is very special. And I think their voices are sort of the perfect mix between a traditional choral voice with the pure vowels and the spinning overtones. Their voices are a good crossover between the traditional sound and a more pop sort of sound, where the tone is a little bit pushed more forward rather than it floating, but they do it together. It is, like I said, perfection. I was lost several times as to wait, what voice just went where, and then after a while I didn't even care because I was just so wrapped up in it, and hearing the bass voice in there, that was just a really wonderful experience. So thank you to everybody out there who recommended this. I wish I could have gotten to it earlier on the channel, but I'm glad it's here now. So thank you, everybody. All right, so again, don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe. You can become a channel member. You can find me on Patreon or support the channel on Ko-fi. You can make direct requests, take part in polls to help decide what I'll react to and analyze next on the channel. You get some exclusive content, like right now I'm working on the full album of The Dark Side of the Moon, kind of going through it in succession, one track at a time. This has just been a fantastic adventure, and I am loving every note. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect, even though they were perfection. But we don't have to be perfection. But every once in a while, it's kind of nice to hear some, I guess. So just be okay. And keep listening.